I'm Jo Britty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation took place. Land which was never ceded. Land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Jess Liemantara, or Jess Lemon as she's known. Jess is a pastry chef, self-published author and now Head of Innovation and Development at Ned's Bakes. Jess has graced the MasterChef kitchen 3 times, first making waves in 2018 as the youngest contestant ever to compete and earning a spot in the top 4, then in 2020 for season 12 back to win, and then in MasterChef's Dessert Masters where she finished 3rd against Australia's industry best. I first spoke to Jess just after her first MasterChef season. She was working at Nobu and she shared the story of how she fell in love with dessert creation, inspired by watching her grandmother and aunt work their magic in the kitchen. Now as Head of Innovation, Jess has her own magic going on. She has perfected the art of laminating viennoiserie and continues to push the boundaries of pastry making. If you have a look at Jess's Instagram account, you can see that she has creativity in spadefuls. But she's also fastidious in her execution, so that she might be making hundreds of croissants or hundreds of macarons, but they're all perfect. It was so lovely to catch up with Jess again, and she gave me a list of things to try at Ned's, which I can't wait to get started on.
Just speaking.
Hi Jess, how are you?
Good, how are you, Jo?
Good, thank you. Now, I spoke to you, was it in 2018?
Yeah, I feel like I've known your name, but I don't know how long ago we've had our interview.
No, that's right. So I think I came into Nobu and it was just after you'd been on MasterChef and you showed me some proofs for the book that you were going to self-publish and then you did publish that. So I feel like lots has happened since then.
Yeah, no, that was in 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah. And you've been back on MasterChef twice, or won MasterChef Dessert. So, yeah, you're very busy.
Yeah, I come back 3 times. I was on the season 10, then the All-Star, and then Dessert Masters.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you launched your own business. Was that over COVID?
Correct.
Did you do that?
Yes, well, I started off with a COVID business, which is obviously from home, and then it became an established business with an investing group.
Yeah.
And then we sadly had to close it in 2022, and that's when I started moving on to 2023 to Ned's and became head of innovation there.
Yeah, so I read the title, Head of Innovation and Development. It's a very grand name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as scary as it sounds.
What does it mean? What do you how do you spend your days?
So I guess I wake up at 5 and get to work around 6. And then we obviously have all the lamination to do, so that's all the croissant work. And we do the shaping, we do all the different types of jams and honeys. And then essentially we create all the different pastries for the store. So that's I guess what the innovation is.
And were you, I read somewhere that you had to learn a bit more about the viennoiserie side of things. So maybe is that the laminating and that sort of thing?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any experience in laminating croissants, so I've always been in mousses and tarts and anything that's pastry goods, but never been in the viennoiserie, which is obviously croissants, pain au chocolats, and escargots. And I went in for a trial, and then they taught me everything they could on the first day, and then they said they'd like me to come on board full time. And then from there, I was able to learn everything, and I was trained by one of the best viennoiserie teachers, which is obviously Guillaume.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was promoted to head of innovation when it got taken over by Matteo.
Right. And what's the secret to good viennoiserie and good laminating?
I think a variety of things. I mean, it starts with a great dough, and then you need to use really great quality butter. So the butter we use is not like the normal home brand butter that you get at home. It's got a higher melting point, so when it proves, it doesn't melt like normal butter. and understanding how to laminate. So if you don't get the lamination right, you don't get the nice layers that you get in pastry. And it really is a teamwork effort. You've got someone that's starting at 11 p.m. to make the dough. Then I do the laminating and shaping. And then you've got someone that starts at 2 a.m. to do all the bake off, and they get sent to the stores. So it's quite a team effort.
Yeah, wow. So how long does it, yeah, so that seems like quite a long process as well. And it's very physical, isn't it? Do you have to be laminating fit? Like, do you need to...
I guess so. I mean, it's quite a big job. It's a 3-day process. Obviously, the dough is made a day prior so that it can ferment to get flavor. And then usually we have the guys doing all of the mixing because it's quite a heavy job. And then I do all the lamination and the shaping. And then we've got somebody doing the baking. So yes, it does require quite a lot of physical and mental capabilities to do it. But I think anyone can do it when they've got the practice.
Yeah. And so that's for croissant and pain au chocolat and those kinds of things. Are there other goods that have that method?
Even puff pastry uses the lamination method, so it's all about creating the layers in. That's how when it goes into the oven, the butter releases, and then that becomes an extra layer. So that's essentially used in a lot of different types of pastries. Even in bread, sometimes laminated bread is also another one as well. So yes, it is quite a high skill to understand, and I'm quite fortunate to have to learn it here.
And have you got some new creations at Ned's that you have introduced? I read somewhere about bombs.
Oh yeah, that was a collective group name. I think Matteo really liked the name bombs.
Yeah.
So it was to replace our donuts. Essentially, it's laminated pastry with the nice streaks on top. So that's the exposed lamination, and then we fill it up with a cookie and insert it with a nice custard and jam filling.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're coming up with these ideas for new products or new combinations of flavour, where does it start for you? Do you draw a picture, or do you start thinking of flavours first? Are you writing things down? What's your process?
I think it's a variety of things. I think it's either it tells a story or it's something that we particularly favor in terms of flavor combinations. So, for example, like cherry coconut, we try to incorporate that into a dessert. And then the trends, like the cookie was such a trend, and we thought that we didn't want to do the same what other people did, and that's why we made it into a donut bomb. I put in the cookie inside so that it's become more of like a brownie than it is a dry cookie. And yeah, it really depends on the season. So when fruits are in season, we like to use obviously the nice stone fruits into our desserts. And cherries, we go crazy with cherries. We'd either make it, cherry and kirsch, or we make these sour cherries. So yeah, it's really depending on the actual season and what we're currently in, which inspires us to make desserts.
It sounds very much like Willy Wonka. It sounds very creative. And I think that's the thing with dessert and pastry, isn't it? I mean, obviously with savoury as well. That's very, very creative. But there's a whole flight of fancy that you can do with desserts because of all the colours and the architecture and all of that kind of thing of some of those treats.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess... I mean, when we spoke, you always felt very drawn to sweets and dessert, and that definitely hasn't stopped. Where do you go from here? Like, can you just keep inventing more and more things?
I think it's very endless. I feel like dessert or food in general always changes each year. The trends always change. Our palettes are also changing, and we're introducing different types of chemicals to create different modification in desserts or in savory. And I feel like, we are never at an end point for desserts or creations, because there's always going to be something that's different. Some things like, coffee and orange, that's been such a conspiracy, has now become a thing. And even, new emerging fruits or fruit combinations have always been such an inspiring aspect as well for desserts. So yeah, it's ever changing. I think there will be a time where you get writer's block and you're trying to think like what else can we create. But I feel like, people always like the classic and they always come back to that. So we don't always have to think outside of the box for the desserts.
And I just saw the write-up on Broadsheet with you giving some suggestions of places around town to eat at for various things. And I have to say, I'm not really a big dessert eater. But recently, my sister-in-law always likes to ask me for advice of places to go, and she was saying, well, where can we go in the city for dessert? And I actually had no idea, but it's become quite a big thing, the dessert bar, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like Melbourne is like the capital for ice cream. And the only dessert I like is ice cream. And I feel like there's heaps of places that are just recently opened, which is Home Dessert, which is in Melbourne Central. They've got, I think, 3 or 4 locations. You've also got Bingsu, you've got Scoopy Milk Bar, Haruya Pantry, which is also a very trending one where it's a mochi ice cream. And if you're looking for more of the mousse cakes and all that, Koi has just recently opened up in Melbourne. And I think they're going to open up a dessert degustation bar as well. So I think there's so many emerging dessert places, and everyone's always looking for desserts at night.
That's right. Well, I mean, when I was much younger, I used to love desserts, and I remember there was some kind of saying that said, "Life's short, just eat dessert." So perhaps we're back to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut on the sugar because at work we just have pastries galore. So
yeah,
I need to be more strong in my mindset with that.
Yeah. And just in the intervening years, I know you worked for some pretty amazing places, since I spoke to you. So you were at Nobu, but where did you go after that?
So I started off actually in Nom Dessert Bar, which is in Delphi Hotel.
Yeah.
That's where I was working casual, and then I started working at the press club.
That's right, yeah.
Full time, and that was more a little bit of savory and sweet at the same time.
Yeah.
Then I moved back to Nobu because Nobu was where I started as a waitress, and they accepted me as a pastry chef there to do my traineeship. And I was able to understand how they do banquets and then understand service at Nobu, and I loved it there. Before, obviously, COVID happened, and then opening up my own.
Yes.
And yeah, that's my whole journey.
It's pretty amazing. So, when you're saying you're not so much into desserts, but I guess you do a lot of tasting at work and so on as well. When you're not at work, what's your favourite thing to eat apart from ice cream?
Dessert-wise?
No, just anything. What's your...
anything?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big sucker for ramen.
Ah.
I can eat ramen every single day.
Yeah. That's good. And it feels so nutritious, and though you've got goodness coursing through your veins when you're eating ramen. I think it's so savoury and nutritional. So what should people be trying when they go into Ned's right now?
Oh, my favourite would be the escargot and the almond lunettes. But you definitely also have to try the pistachio bombs because we make the pistachio paste completely from scratch, and it's filled with a pistachio custard and dark chocolate cookie. That is one of my favorites.
Wow.
And of course the almond croissant is also a really great try. So I think those are our 4 standouts, and I'm really surprised that kongyuman, which is like a pastry which is caramelized on the bottom with some buckwheat, isn't our most popular, but yet it is my most favorite pastry. So I do hope that people give that a try because it is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really like those, and I really like cannoli as well. I think it's that sort of...
yes, the cannolis too. And
Yeah.
the carrot cake.
Yeah.
So my colleague makes the carrot cake, and it's the best. So that is a must try.
Okay, that's a long list. Great. And how many Neds are there now?
I think there's still 4 locations, and we've got our factory in Cremon, but I think they're still thinking of expanding, and we also put a lot of our products in Inez Wine Bar, Meatball, and Tartine. That's right. So we're quite a collective group. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on this great job, head of innovation. It's a really good job to have and totally perfect for you. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And great to catch up with you again.
You too. You take care, Jo.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Jess Liemantara at Ned's Bake. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at _JessLemon_. if you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. I would love it if you told a friend about my chats because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.